Welcome to Girlfriends Bible Study, a live Bible study with Connie and friends. Each week, Connie and her girlfriends engage in a lively conversation as they read and study scripture. So, grab a pen, your journal, and your best friend and enjoy this enlightening Bible study.
So welcome everybody to Bible Study Live with Connie and Friends. And I'm happy to welcome my friend Bria and to welcome my sister Gina, who is signing on right now. So welcome to my sister Gina, and welcome to Bria for being with me tonight as we change themes. Today is the first Thursday in April. And so last month our theme was spring cleaning for March. And this month, our theme is rainy days. So we're reading about rainy days in the Bible, and I get to read one of my favorite chapters, actually. And I read this chapter for multiple reasons. I love it for so many reasons. One is that it cracks me up, but also I love the faith in it, and I love God's miraculous power that takes place in it. So I'm going to read it. I'll stop and talk about it a little bit, but then I want to hear from my sisters as well. So we're going to 1 Kings chapter 18. 1 Kings chapter 18. That is what we're reading tonight. And it says, after a long time, in the third year, the word of the Lord came to Elijah. Go and present yourself to Ahab, and I will send rain on the land. So Elijah went to present himself to Ahab. Now the famine was severe in Samaria, and Ahab had summoned Obadiah, who was in charge of his palace. Obadiah was a devout believer in the Lord. While Jezebel was killing off the Lord's prophets, Obadiah had taken 100 prophets and hidden them in 2 caves, 50 in each, and had supplied them with food and water. Hello to my sister Latrice. Ahab had said to Obadiah, go through the land to all the springs and valleys. Maybe we can find some grass to keep the horses and mules alive so we will not have to kill any of our animals. So they divided the land they were to cover. And Latrice, I'm reading from 1 Kings chapter 18. And I'm on verse 6. So they divided the land they were to cover, Ahab going in one direction and Obadiah in another. As Obadiah was walking along, Elijah met him. Obadiah recognized him, bowed down to the ground and said, is it really you, my Lord Elijah? Yes, he replied. Go tell your master, Elijah is here. Elijah is here. And welcome to my sister Spring. Spring, we're reading from 1 Kings chapter 18. We are on verse 9. And it says, what have I done wrong, asked Obadiah, that you are handing your servant over to Ahab to be put to death? As surely as the Lord your God lives, there is not a nation or kingdom where my master has not sent someone to look for you. And whenever a nation or kingdom claimed you were not there, he made them swear they could not find you. But now you tell me to go to my master and say, Elijah is here. I don't know where the Spirit of the Lord may carry you when I leave you. That's an interesting statement. I'm going to use that. I don't know where the Spirit of the Lord may carry you when I leave you. If I go and tell Ahab and he doesn't find you, he will kill me. Yet I, your servant, have worshiped the Lord since my youth. Haven't you heard, my Lord, what I did while Jezebel was killing the prophets of the Lord? I hid 100 of the Lord's prophets in 2 caves, 50 in each, and supplied them with food and water. And now you tell me to go to my master and say, Elijah is here? He will kill me. Elijah said, as the Lord Almighty lives, whom I serve, I will surely present myself to Ahab today. He's like, I'm not going to dip after Gina calls her dog Ding Dong Ditch the dog, because the dog will act like it wants to go out and then do sight when Gina goes to open the door. So Elijah's saying, I'm not going to ding dong ditch you. When you go to tell Ahab I'm here, I'll really still be here. So Obadiah went to meet Ahab and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. When he saw Elijah, he said to him, "Is that you, you troubler of Israel?" "I have not made trouble for Israel," Elijah replied, "but you and your father's family have. Mm-mm-mm. You have abandoned the Lord's commands and have followed the Baals. Now summon the people from all over Israel to meet on Mount Carmel, and bring the 450 prophets of Baal and the 400 prophets of Asherah who eat at Jezebel's table." So Ahab, first of all, he did what he said. And you would think Ahab would be like, "I'm not doing that. I'm just going to kill you right now." But nope, he knew better. He knew better. So Ahab sent word throughout all Israel and assembled the prophets on Mount Carmel. Elijah went before the people and said, "How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him." But the people said nothing. Then Elijah said to them, "I am the only one of the Lord's prophets left, but Baal has 450 prophets. Get 2 bulls for us. Let them choose one for themselves, and let them cut it into pieces and put it on the wood, but not set fire to it. I will prepare the other bull and put it on the wood, but not set fire to it. Then you call on the name of your God," with a little g, "and I will call on the name of the Lord," capital letters. "The God who answers by fire, he is God." Then all the people said, "What you say is good." Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, "Choose one of the bulls and prepare it first, since there are so many of you. Call on the name of your God, but do not light the fire." So they took the bull given them and prepared it. Then they called on the name of Baal from morning till noon. "Oh, Baal, answer us," they shouted. But there was no response. No one answered. And they danced around the altar they had made. At noon, Elijah began to taunt them. And y'all know this is one of my favorite parts, because this is part of the humor in the Bible. Elijah started cutting up. "Shout louder," he said. "Surely he is a god. Perhaps he is deep in thought, or busy, or traveling. Maybe he is sleeping and must be awakened." So they shouted louder and slashed themselves with swords and spears, as was their custom, until their blood flowed. They are doing the most out there, y'all. Shouting, cutting, all of it. Bleeding. Midday passed, and they continued their frantic prophesying until the time for the evening sacrifice. But there was no response. No one answered. No one paid attention. Wow. Then Elijah said to all the people, "Come here to me." They came to him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord, which was in ruins. Elijah took 12 stones, one for each of the tribes descended from Jacob, to whom the word of the Lord had come, saying, "Your name shall be Israel." With the stones, he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he dug a trench around it, large enough to hold 2 seahs of seed. That is probably about 13 quarts, it says, or 15 liters. Where's the seed? Okay. He arranged the wood, cut the bull into pieces, and laid it on the wood. Then he said to them, "Fill 4 large jars with water and pour it on the offering and on the wood." "Do it again," he said, and they did it again. "Do it a 3rd time," he ordered, and they did it the 3rd time. The water ran down around the altar and even filled the trench. He's like, "Y'all not gonna say it was some random spark. See, it was all that dry brush that started the fire. Not gonna happen." He doused it with water, made them do it. You put the water on there. So verse 36 says, "At the time of sacrifice, the prophet Elijah stepped forward and prayed, 'O Lord, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant and have done all these things at your command. Answer me, O Lord, answer me. So these people will know that you, O Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again. Then the fire of the Lord fell and burned up the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, and the soil, and also licked up the water in the trench. When all the people saw this, they fell prostrate and cried, "The Lord, he is God. The Lord, he is God." Then Elijah commanded them, "Seize the prophets of Baal. Don't let anyone get away." They seized them. And Elijah had them brought down to Kishon Valley and slaughtered there. Eesh. And Elijah said to Ahab, "Go, eat and drink, for there is the sound of a heavy rain." So Ahab went off to eat and drink. But Elijah climbed to the top of Carmel, bent down to the ground, and put his face between his knees. "Go and look toward the sea," he told his servant. And he went up and looked. "There is nothing there," he said. 7 times Elijah said, "Go back." The 7th time, the servant reported, "A cloud as small as a man's hand is rising from the sea." So Elijah said, "Go and tell Ahab, hitch up your chariot and go down before the rain stops you." Meanwhile, the sky grew black with clouds, the wind rose, a heavy rain came on, and Ahab rode off to Jezreel. The power of the Lord came upon Elijah, and tucking his cloak into his belt, he ran ahead of Ahab all the way to Jezreel. That is 1 Kings chapter 18, one of my all-time favorite chapters in the Bible for multiple reasons. I love it because of the humor. I love that, Elijah had a smart mouth. I love a good sarcasm, well-placed sarcasm. I also loved the message of, you're not going to serve both. You don't get to serve. It's either him or it's me. It's either God or it's Baal. You don't get to, I practice Wiccan, but it's, Wiccan mixed with Catholicism. No, you don't get to do that. You get to choose God or Baal, God or anything else. That's it. God or anything else. That's it. I love that part as well, that he's like, you're not straddling the fence. And then I also love Elijah's faith at the end, where he's waiting. He knows the rain is coming. God has already told him the rain is coming. So he sent in a servant, go look. And even though the servant, I can only imagine after time number 3, like, dude, seriously, there's nothing there. Go look again. Okay, there's nothing there still. Go look again. I can only 7 times. And finally, it must have been squinting because he's looking over the water. It's only the size of a man's fist, right? That's what he said. He said, a cloud as small as a man's hand is rising from the sea. So, just something tiny, just a little bit. And the whole sea in this one little thing, like a blip. Boop, boop. And he comes back and he tells them, hitch up, it's coming, get ready. And sure enough, the rain came down. The rain came down. And, for all of us who are believing for the breakthrough, when God says it's coming, and we're the ones going like, is it here yet? It's not. Is it here yet? It's not. Is it here yet? It's not. This particular passage encourages me. Keep looking, keep believing it's coming. And when it seems like it's just tiny little bit, get ready, because here comes the flood. Here comes the flood. So I really have always loved the first time I read it, I remember when I first read 1 Kings 18, I was like, is he really taunting? I was so surprised at the sarcasm. Later, I found out there's a lot of humor in the Bible, but the first time I read it, I was rolling because I had not seen that kind of humor in the Bible before. And I just love it. I love him being sarcastic. Like, come on, what should do? He's sleeping? What's he doing? Taking a nap? Maybe he's traveling. He must be just taunting them. So, and then also He didn't play. Those prophets of Baal, he was like, yeah, we're not going to leave you around to be able to do more damage. So we're just going to go ahead and take care of you. I know it's death and we should be sad. And, I'm like, well, you got people misleading people. It is what it is. So anyway, that is the first rainy day message from April on a Thursday. So I'm going to bring my sisters on camera. Let's see. There we all are. We can only see Latrice right now. I need to see some of those beautiful faces. There's Bria. Hello, you guys.
Hi, so there we
Spring. So, Spring, you're the only one not muted. So tell us what you want to talk about. What do you think? What you got to say?
Oh no, it just puts me in my, I don't really have anything to say. I just unmuted so I could tell you that I was trying to unmute. I was trying to come on camera. But it does put me in mind of a story that's I know I've seen in a couple of different Christian, like, different books like by Warren and all those ones that write all the positive affirmation type books. But it's the story of the town in the South where they were really under a serious drought and were about to lose their crops, and it would have been a very impoverished town because they were farmers. And so all the churches got together and said, okay, we're gonna pray. And they all came together to pray. And one little boy came with an umbrella, and they were like, why are you carrying an umbrella? He said, what we praying for?
Yep. I've seen the story too. My recollection of that story is one of my favorites too.
I'm sure it's different variations.
I'm sure the variation that I heard was that everybody was told to bring an item that they, as a blessing. So people brought candles and people brought, like random things. And little dude came with an umbrella. And I just love it. I love it. Because what are you praying for? Get ready.
Yeah.
I love it. And you telling that story reminds me years ago when my dad was still alive. And he said, he had called me and he said, Connie, okay, I'm gonna tell you. He said, I know he hadn't yet given his heart to the Lord. And he said, we're gonna see if there's something to this praying, because I don't know if you heard, but there's this one Christian group that was supposed to have its international Christian conference, and it ended up being on the same date as the World Series. And so it was in the newspaper that the Christian group started praying. And he said, it's the World Series, what they pray for. He said, but if something happens, I'm going to give it to you and say, okay, your God must really be God. Do you know that was the first year that the baseball players went on strike
and canceled the World Series.
Canceled the World Series. And my dad called me and said, oh my goodness, because he called me at the front end. So when that happened at the end of it, I was like, better do it, God. You better send those people on strike. He could not believe it. He said, it happened. Okay, I'm not going to argue with you. Prayer has that kind of power.
I think it was the Dunamis Convention or something.
I don't even remember.
Where they were praying, because Dunamis is a whole thing.
Whatever it was huge, and the World Series was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So they prayed, and the baseball players went on strike. It was something else. So Latrice or Bria, I can see you guys. Which one of you has a comment? Which one of you wants to share something? Both of you, either of you.
I was gonna say Bria.
I saw her unmuting. I was like, maybe she'll go first. I don't know. I think the first thing that comes to mind, after Connie, what you shared was like, because you said like the sarcasm, or how he was like, okay, keep going, sure, I don't know. Like that to me is like shows a level of confidence that he had in God. Like he said, like all these other people had been basically, we're supposed to be put to death, but Obadiah saved them, and tried to help them, but they were supposed to die. And so the fact that Elijah came in confidently and said, nope, send me to him, like he just knew, one, that God was going to be there every step of the way. So nope, I'm not getting sent into to die, to cave, whatever. I'm going to get this opportunity to show who God really is. And then he gets up there and on the mountain and just the sarcasm, but it's like he has a confidence that God's going to show up, that their God or all the other ways that they're trying to get to God, get salvation, get what they need is not going to prevail, and only God will. So I think that's interesting, like the confidence. And then when you relate it to breakthrough or waiting for something, being in seasons where you're like trusting God for something, like it's, I guess I'm thinking like, how do you have confidence like that, in those seasons when you're waiting or when, you need God to show up, you need him to show himself or do something for you.
Yeah, that is a good question, Bria. And there, it comes in waves. I will say, when you're waiting for something, there are times you're like, you're like Rocky, dun, 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 dun. You're like, you got this, God, do it. And then other days where you're like, I can't even, and so I know, I love it. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, some days it's like, you got this, it's coming, you declare it, you feel, you bad, you like, and then other times, like, somebody please just pray for me. Did you notice he said, I'm the only prophet left? I'm like, what happened to the 100 in the cave? And he's like, anybody who's cowering in a cave, how much of a prophet can they be?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And basically, he just came with it. He really did. It just, I'm here. Okay.
Tell him I'm here. Tell him I am here. And no, I'm not going anywhere. You're not going to die because I'm not going to go hide. So.
Yeah. It was pretty gangster, basically.
It was gangster.
There's a lot of gangsters in the Bible, for real.
Mm-hmm.
No, for real.
That's going to be a new theme, gangsters in the Bible.
That is so funny. This is one of those chapters, though, for those who are just learning the Bible. I hear so many people say that it's hard to read the Bible, and certain verses are confusing and they just can't stay engaged. This is one of those chapters that when people read it, they're like, oh my goodness, all of this is going on in the Bible, because it reads just like a story. And there's so many others. But this one is truly easy to understand. It's engaging. Like you said, there's sarcasm. You can relate it to everyday life, right? So it's truly one that you can recommend. And I think it pulls people in to make them say, I want to see what else is in here, right? When someone's just starting their walk, their journey.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. And I did read it early on. So you're right. When I first was learning how to read the Bible, because many people know I didn't get saved till I was 25. So I didn't grow up reading the Bible. I didn't know all the Bible stories, didn't go to church. That didn't happen. And so when I learned how to read the Bible, this ended up outside of Proverbs, which is what I started reading first. I saw this story early on, which is why I was so much like you said, Latrice, I was so blown away. Like, this is a whole drama happening right now. You got, intrigue, suspense, you got, I was so surprised, and humor, all of the things. You're right. This is a chapter where if you had never read it, you could understand this story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If this was your introduction, you could understand.
Yeah.
So that is a good point. That is a really good point. It is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. So, and yeah, Elijah was gangster. I want to have the faith like Elijah. I want to just be able to say, just walking, I'm here. And
I'm here.
Yes. And I only serve God, and I will call on him and watch what he'll do. And I won't ever doubt, like at the end where he had room to be able to doubt, like, God, like he could have gone like Job. You said that if I did this, that it would rain. How could, like, he could have gotten pitiful, but he didn't. He was like, go check again. I'm gonna just stay right. Go check again. You can imagine, go again. Until you come back and tell me you've seen something, don't come back. I love that. I love that he was not messing around, and it didn't make him doubt at all. He didn't say, okay, Lord, now you promised if I did this. He didn't go pitiful. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. And again, it's that kind of faith, where that bold faith, that confidence, like you're saying, Bria, I want that kind of confidence where there's not even I just don't understand when it's gonna happen, which, I'll be honest, I go there.
Mm-hmm.
There are days that I can be Elijah, and then there are other days where I'm like, where's my Kleenex? Because just trying to hold it together and think, how much longer, Lord? How much? All of that. And he's like, seriously? Really? Well, you forgot about the time and the time and the time and the time. And now you're coming to me like, Gina and I talk about this. It's like if your little kid came to you and said, Mom, am I going to have dinner tonight? Are you going to feed me? Don't I get food? And you're like, don't I give you dinner? What's wrong with you? Oh, here's my food. Okay, thank you. What about breakfast? That's us. When he's like, I give you breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. It happens every time you need. I come. Might be a little late. Oh, I'm making pancakes. It's gonna take a little longer. It's not, cream of wheat. It's not oatmeal. These pancakes or this omelet, I'm doing the thing for you this Saturday. It's Sunday brunch. I'm gonna lay it out. So it's gonna take a little longer. And because it takes a little longer, I'm never gonna eat again. You won't feed me. I don't want to be that. I want to be Elijah, who can be like, okay, it's still not ready yet. That's okay. Is it ready yet? Nope. Okay. Is it ready yet? Nope. Okay. Knowing it's coming and it's gonna be a feast. That's where I want to be. I want to be Elijah. I want to be gangster like Elijah. First of all, I'm here and God's with me. I'm coming in. I'm his ambassador. Y'all over there?
I'm here and I'm not by myself. That's what that says.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here and I'm not by myself.
I am not by myself. I'm not crouched in a cave. And Obadiah thinks he's doing something. But wait, I hid 100 of them in caves. Elijah was like, okay.
Yeah.
You hid some so-called prophets in caves. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So, yes, Elijah, that's my dude. I love him. I wish I could say Bria and I have done exercises where we've talked about who we most identify with in the Bible. I wish I could just say Elijah. He's somebody I aspire to identify with, but he inspires me. He does inspire me. He's not the one that I immediately gravitate toward, because I'm honestly just not that. I'm not as gangster as he is. I'm not, but I'm working on it, Lord. I'm working on it. I want to be that bad. I'm here and I didn't come alone. And I don't care if you can't see him. You can choose today who you're going to serve, Baal or God. That's it. So I love him. I love Elijah. Oh, hi, puppy. I love Elijah. Darwin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Darwin.
Oh,
Darwin's
He's
like,
so pretty.
yeah.
Darwin's like, it's time to eat.
Right, Darwin's like, I'm never
Am I ever going to get food?
getting some food. Dogs will do it for real too. Gina's got the same thing, just laid out. Just, oh, it's crazy. Anyway, thank you, sisters, for being with me tonight on Bible Study Live. It was good to see all of your beautiful faces. And Gina, I'm sorry we didn't get to see you much and hear your beautiful voice, but I know I'll be talking to you soon. So anyway, have a great night, and I will see you. She's waving. She's somewhere in there. Okay.
I love you.
Love you too. I'll see you ladies next time, hopefully.
All
Have
right.
a good night, everybody.
Good night.